I'm Dominik Moritz. I'm a new professor in the Human-Computer Interaction Institute at CMU, and I co-started the Data Interaction Group, where we help people make sense of data. I'm interested in giving people interactive tools to explore and understand data more effectively. Here's an example. It's a basic visualization type, a scatter plot. And it's actually a homage to Hans Rosling, who gave a famous TED talk about this data set. What it shows is data for different countries, namely the life expectancy on Y and fertility, which is the number of children per woman, on the x-axis. And so this data shows us where different countries from different regions in the world fall on this chart in 1955. We can get additional data through interactions. By hovering over a point, we can see the country and the trajectory it took throughout the years. We can then also change the year, so see how these countries are developing throughout time and move towards later time, where you can see that most countries are moving towards the upper left, but there's also outliers like Rwanda that you just saw there. And so you can see how these countries move through time and how they developed in tandem, how they were similar or different. Through a combination of these visual encodings and interactions, we can get more insights into this data set. So what I do in my research is create new visualization languages to make interactive visualizations like this one possible. In fact, here's a screenshot of the very visualization you just saw in an online editor that we created. The languages my colleague and I created is called Vega Lite. It has won awards at academic conferences and is used by companies and the data science community. And it currently has 2 million monthly downloads from CDN. But I don't just want to make tools that allow people to make visualizations, because only a well-designed visualization empowers people to understand data effectively. Here's an example. It's a dataset that shows barley yields for 2 different years. And I would argue it's really difficult to see what really is happening with this data and how these different sites how the yield is changing for different years. So what we can do is create a visualization, and now we can see that in most sites that the sites seem to have less yield in 1932 compared to 31. But there's still something interesting here that's actually still somewhat hidden. And I wonder whether you can spot it. We can make a small design change and switch to a line mark. And now our powerful perceptual system can kick in and help us spot the outlier, which is this Morris site that actually where the yield increased compared to all the other ones where it decreased. And so it's very important to help designers and analysts create effective visual designs and not just give them tools to make visualizations, but actually make visualizations that follow best practices of visual design and data analysis. And so to help analysts and designers do that, I've developed automated design tools that apply best practices to visualization tools. I don't have time to go into it, but I also work on scaling data exploration to large data so that people can work with the data that they have at hand. At the end of the day, ultimately, I'm interested in this question of how do tools help us become better data analysts? So I don't just want to build tools, but I really want to understand how do they help us become better data analysts? And so my research mission and the mission of the lab that I co-founded is to empower everyone to effectively analyze and communicate data. And we do this by designing interactive systems that richly integrate the strengths of both people and machines. And on this mission, we draw on different areas of computer science, including human-computer interaction and visualization, machine learning, such as learning good designs, databases, and programming languages, for instance, domain-specific languages and constraint solvers. If you're curious and want to learn more about our research, you can go to the lab website for the Data Interaction Group. And there you have lists of papers, our research areas, and also links to different members' websites who all work in this group.